What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over budget players for your secondary in Madden Ultimate Team. Now if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So what's up, guys? Like I said, today I'm going to be going over the budget players that you want in your secondary in Madden Ultimate Team. So a lot of us, don't have a lot of coins to splurge on, and we still want those budget players that are going to help us on defense in the game. That's one of the biggest parts about building your MUT team, is putting together a tough secondary. Now it's a little bit easier to me this year than in years past, because in years past you had to just test out anybody and everybody. Some people played above their rating, some people didn't. You'd have a card that would play amazing, and then another card that had almost identical ratings just wouldn't play good at all. So you had to really test a lot of things out. But this year, as far as coverage goes, we know that there's a threshold for zone coverage, and that's pretty much the end-all be-all for players in the secondary this year. So for those that don't know, the zone coverage threshold is 91 and above. So if you have a player that has 91 zone or better, he's going to play amazing. He's going to play how he should. He's going to actually play a little bit OP at times. He's going to jump a lot of routes. He's going to usually be in good position, whereas if you have a guy that has 90 zone or less, he's going to almost, in a sense, be useless. So when you're looking to build your secondary for your MUT team, that is the one rating that matters more than literally anything else: zone coverage. If he has less than 91 zone coverage, you just simply don't want him. I don't care what the rest of his stats are, you don't want him. So the problem with this is most of the 91 zone coverage guys are very expensive, but luckily there are some budget options and some ways we can work around this. So when mentioning the budget options for cornerback, the first guy you have to look at is Terrence Newman, far and away. So we're going to go to buy now price, and we're going to go to his MUT hero card, the 85 overall. We don't want the 91 overall because he's a little bit too expensive. I mean, he's still not terribly expensive, but the 85 zone version is a lot cheaper. So the cheapest right now is 20k, but I've seen him go as low as like 15k. So if you're a little bit patient, you can get him for under 20k. But even 20k for this card is one of the best budget cards in the game, because he has 94 zone coverage. Now yes, he's only got 80 speed. That's really low for a cornerback. His catching is very good, his play recognition is very good, but that 94 zone coverage, he is going to play like a stud cornerback. Now if you're playing more of like a cover 2 style defense, he's going to be more valuable for you, because if you have him in a cloud flat all game long, the 80 speed doesn't really matter. You don't need speed to play a cloud flat. Now if you're playing you definitely don't want to man him up ever, because he's too slow. If you're playing like cover 3 or cover 4, he can still suffice there, but you definitely never want to press your defense. You want to just leave them regularly. You could base align your defense, but you never want to press with a guy that has 80 speed, because he's just too slow. So if you're playing cover 2, he's going to be more beneficial for you because his speed doesn't really matter as much there. If you're playing cover 4 or cover 3, just do not press your defense with him. That's the key. But for $20,000 and maybe a little, or 20,000 coins and a little bit less even, you can't get much better than that if you're trying to save money. Now the next card we want to look at is the Aqib Talib, the 89 overall version. Now you can see he's 95k. Sometimes he can get as low as like 89, 88k. So for under 100,000 coin, you can get another stud cornerback. Now the lower versions right here, they don't have the zone threshold that we need, but this one right here, he has 90 zone. Now you're saying, okay, he has 90 zone. I thought you said 91 zone was the threshold. It is, but he has the read and react chemistry. That little green icon, that's the read and react chemistry. If you activate tier 1 of the read and react chemistry, it gives you your zone coverage a 1-point boost. So it takes his 90 zone and then it becomes 91. So now he meets the threshold. So all you have to do is get 2 other guys on your defense somewhere that have the read and react chemistry, and you can get some cheap guys and just throw them in your starting lineup just to activate the chemistry, so it's not expensive to do. Now yes, he's also very slow, 83 speed. I mean, the rest of his stats are great: 90 press, 82 catching, so he's not going to drop many picks, 86 play rec. He's a very good card. Again, he's another card that's going to be more beneficial in a cover 2, and cover 2 is the best coverage shell in the game this year, so there's no reason not to run a lot of cover 2, but he's going to be more beneficial there than, say, cover 3 or cover 4, because his speed could be a little bit of a question. But as long as you don't press your defense when you run cover 3 or cover 4, you shouldn't get burned too often. You just got to give a little bit of cushion. But if you're in a cover 2, you could press all day with him, and he's going to jam guys at the line. He's going to play very well for you. So he's another option that you can get for about 90K. Now, getting just a little bit more expensive, we're going to look at what I believe is arguably the best budget card in the game right now, and that is the out of position Paul Krause cornerback. Now, he's 110 right now, is the cheapest. I've seen him get as low as like 95K, so you can probably get this guy for under 100K as well. But this guy has it all. This is a stud cornerback. Even if you pay 110K, that most cornerbacks that have these type of ratings, you're going to be spending over 200K for those cards, maybe over 240K. He's 6'3". I mean, that is the height that you want. That's Richard Sherman level height. There's not a lot of people that are 6'3", so he's going to make a lot of plays just off his height alone because he has a longer wingspan. 89 speed, 91 acceleration. That's great speed for a cornerback at this stage of the game. There's not that many fast receivers in the game. 91 zone coverage, so he has the threshold that you want. 88 play recognition, that's great. 92 catching, and he also has the pick specialist chemistry. So between that and the 92 catching, this guy is literally not going to drop picks. You can play him in a cover 2, or even if you're cover 3 or cover 4, he has the speed to where he's really not going to get burned. In my opinion, one of the best budget cards in the game, period, not just cornerbacks. Now, the last one that I'm going to mention here is the Core Elite AJ Bouye. Now, he also, you can see his cheapest is 110. You're probably not going to find him much cheaper than that. Usually he's going to be about anywhere from 110 to 120. You'll be able to get him. Now, again, he's a little bit on the slower side, not as slow as Newman or Talib, but 84 speed, still a guy that I wouldn't want to press with if I'm in cover 3 or cover 4. But again, if you're playing a lot of cover 2, he's going to absolutely thrive there. 91 zone coverage. He has great man coverage as well, but with the 84 speed, I wouldn't recommend playing man with him, not too much. But 91 zone coverage, 81 catching, so again, high catch rating, not going to drop a lot of passes. 89 play rec, 91 press, so he can also press too. So if you put like him and Talib out there and you play a lot of cover 2 press, they're going to jam guys at the line pretty nicely, and they're going to defend a lot of passes on that outside of the field for you. So those are the 4 cornerbacks, all of them under 120K. Ideally, you just need 2 cornerbacks and then a safety, a free safety and a strong safety. That's if you can just get those 4, you can play 3-4, 4-3, which are very viable defenses this year. You don't need to get that 3rd or 4th cornerback. So you can, the goal is to try to get all 4 of these guys for maybe about, under 300K. For having 4 guys with 91 zone coverage, you can't beat that. So at free safety now, we have to mention the out of position Julio Jones, simply because you can get him for 30K. You can't find too many people that have 91 zone coverage at this price. I mean, it's just outside of the Terrence Newman, nobody else. You can't find these 91 zone guys at 30,000 coins. But there's so many of them in the game. So many people pulled these cards during the promo. I mean, he's 6'3", 91 speed. That's amazing. Like, he's got the wingspan to defend. He's got the speed. He's not going to get burned. He also has like 90 catch, so he's not dropping the ball, and he has 91 zone coverage, so he's going to play like a stud defensive back in coverage. He's not going to be good in the run game. He's not going to be able to make a lot of tackles, but when we're talking secondary, you want your secondary to be able to cover more than stop the run or tackle. I mean, coverage is going to be the main thing, because if you can get the picks, the more picks you get, that's the less you have to worry about even making tackles. So you want them to be able to defend. You can stuff the run yourself if your user in a linebacker, you stuff the box. You can contain the run that way. But when you're talking about safeties, you definitely want to go coverage over run support when you're talking about safety. So 91 speed, 6'3", 91 zone, 90 catch. You can't go wrong. I mean, if you have more coins to spend, I would suggest getting somebody better than Julio. But if you're on a budget for 30K, you can have a guy that has 91 zone coverage. Now, getting just a little bit more expensive, in my opinion, this is who I would go with at safety. And I would go with let me pull up the specific one here, because there's a bunch of Paul Krauses. You want to go with the 89 overall Paul Krause. Now, you can get him for about 50K. I bought him recently for about 60, but he's gone down. He's around 50 to 55K is where he normally stays. Now, he has 90 zone coverage, but again, he has the read and react chemistry. So if you have 3 guys on your defense with that chemistry, that 90 zone gets bumped to 91. He's actually my free safety right now, and he plays very well because he's 86 speed. That's still decent. That's not slow for a safety. He's 6'3", so he can make a lot of plays just off his height alone. He's got great catching. You know, he's got good traits. His aggressive traits make him attack the ball even better. So he's another guy you can get. And I would prefer going with him over Julio just because, I mean, he's not a great tackler either. But he's going to be a little bit better in run support and in tackling than Julio Jones is altogether. He's got, you know, a little bit better block shed and things like that. But to me, he's just a better all-around card, and he's only 20K more. So yeah, if you have this card, you can't use the cornerback Paul Krause because you can only use one or the other. I would go with this one just because I think for a 50,000 or 50,000 coins, you can't really get much better than him. He's another one of my top budget cards in the game. So those are the 2 options for free safety. Now we're going to look at strong safety. And when we talk strong safety, we have to go back to the out of position again because just like the Julio free safety, there is another safety for strong safety out of position, and that is Keenan Allen. Now, he's pretty much almost the same as Julio. Same price. You can get him for 30K. Can't beat it. He has the 91 zone threshold. A little bit slower than Julio, but 87 speed, that's still very, very great for a safety. 6'2", he has the height. Again, he has the catch. He's not going to be good in run support. He's not going to be a good tackler, but your safeties, you know, you're looking coverage first with these guys. So you could literally put Julio on one side, and you could put Keenan on the other side, have 2 91 zone coverage guys, and you can get them combined for 60,000 coins. So if you're on a budget, you cannot beat that. Now, the last card we're going to look at for strong safety is going to be EricRayweather. Now, the cheapest one they have up right now is 140K, but he's the only one up on the block right now. Usually there's a few more than that. Usually you can get him for about 120, 130. Still very good. Now, he's just my only knock with him is he's a little bit slow, but he's a safety. He's going to be back over top a lot, you know, especially if you're playing a lot of cover 2. You shouldn't really have to worry about getting burned. 91 zone coverage, 91 play rec. Those 2 together, that's dangerous. And 90 pursuit. He's actually not going to be a liability in the run game for you. He's got 86 hit power. He's got 86 tackles. So, again, if you're on a budget, usually you can get him for a little bit under 130K. You can't go wrong. So, my recommendation would be to do something like this. Maybe go Aqib Talib and then AJ Bouye, for example. And then you go Paul Krause at free safety. And then at strong safety, maybe you go Weddle or Keenan Allen. Or, you know, you can even put Julio there. Even though he's a free safety, you know, you can put the Julio there if you like him better because he's a little faster. And you can put all of that together for about, let's see, if you go with like Keenan or Julio, that's 30K. If you go with the Paul Krause, that's 50K. So right there, that's only 80K. And then if you go Bouye and Talib and you play a lot of cover too, you can get both of those guys for about 200K. So you're looking at like 280K, and you can have a secondary of all 91 zone coverage guys. And you have Talib and Krause, who both have the read and react chemistry. So if you just find one other person with read and react, or if you go with Weddle, who also has read and react, there you go. You have your 3 guys right there. If you want to go super, super cheap, you can go Terrence Newman. And then you can go, I would say, Paul Krause at cornerback. And then you can go Julio and Keenan Allen at the safeties. And now you're talking about, like, you can get all 3 of those guys for probably, for under 200K. You're looking at probably about 180K. You can get 4 guys with 91 zone coverage on your team. If you're on a super budget, that's the route to go. You go Newman, then you go get Paul Krause, or you can get Talib, whichever one. And then put Julio and Keenan at strong safety. For under 200K, you have a starting secondary of 91 zone coverage guys. They will be weak in some other areas. The cornerbacks will be a little slow, and the safeties will be a little weak in run support. But if you're on a budget, you know, that's what you're looking to do. So those are my recommendations for getting some good coverage guys on the cheap. Let me know if this video helped you guys. If you have any other recommendations for people, drop those in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.